What's going on, everybody? Kmess here for the Birds vs. Boys Week 8 Dallas Cowboys recap. The Dallas Cowboys head on the road to Minnesota and beat the Vikings in primetime 20-16, led by who other than Cooper Rush, the best backup quarterback in the NFL. Never in doubt, was never nervous. Cooper Rush knew he was going to start this game all week. I knew he was going to start this game all week. Vegas knew he was going to start this game all week. Smart people knew he was going to start this game all week. The Cowboys were always going to test Dak Prescott till the end to make sure 100% that he could not start this game. But Vegas told us earlier in the week that Cooper Rush was going to start this game. And that's when it was a 2.5 point favorite, the Dallas Cowboys were. And in one day, it switched to the Vikings being a 2.5 point favorite, then bumping up to the Vikings being a 3 point favorite, and then ultimately the Vikings being a 4.5 point favorite at kickoff once it was announced that Cooper Rush was starting. But smart people like myself knew that Cooper Rush was going to start this game, maybe even going back to the end of the Patriots game when he actually hurt the calf. Calf injuries are strange. Calf injuries don't heal well. You even heard it on the broadcast on Sunday Night Football that they said this is really a 4-week injury, right? Michael Gallup hurt his calf week 1 against the Buccaneers, and we're in week 8. Cowboys finished week 8. He has still not stepped back on the field. Yes, I know he's a wide receiver. He's not a quarterback. It's a much different injury in terms of sprinting down the field, jumping to catch the ball. It's much different. However, the injury to Dak, 1 is his plant leg, and 2 is his surgically repaired leg. So this team, this medical staff is going to do all they can and all they have to do to protect him. And usually you have to protect the player from themselves. But in this case, it's a little bit different. Now, I'm not saying Dak doesn't want to be out there. Dak would have given anything to be out there last night. He always wants to be out there with his team. However, he's the one who brought the attention to his shoulder to the training staff and the coaching staff during training camp. And he's also the one that talked to them all week about the severity of the pain. I think Dak knows what's best for him and what's best for the team now and moving forward. And I commend him for that. He had all the faith in the world in Cooper Rush because of the team that the Dallas Cowboys have, the team that they could put around Cooper Rush. So let's dive into the game itself. So like I said, I had all expectations that Cooper Rush was going to start this game earlier in the week. And the closer and closer we got, everything was pointing towards Cooper Rush was starting. Even the video that came out pregame where Mike McCarthy was there with Brett Brown, the trainer, and Dak. And, they were talking, and then McCarthy kind of patted Dak on the back. And it just looked like that was one of those pats like, we'll get you back out there as soon as we can. It's just not happening tonight, big fella. So I fully went into this game with no expectations. And I'm being dead serious with you. This was actually probably the most relaxing game of the season that I've watched, because I don't want to say I booked 5-2. I had faith in this team because I have faith in the team. Couldn't say I had full faith in Cooper Rush because he's thrown 3 passes in his career leading up to the Sunday night game. I didn't know what to expect. We've seen him in preseason. He was on the practice squad, cut by the team, went to the Giants, went to his guy, Jason Garrett. And his guy, Jason Garrett, let him go. And then he came back. All indications during the preseason, during training camp, showed that Garrett Gilbert was miles ahead of him and Ben DiNucci. But then Gilbert had that fumble in the preseason. Cooper played okay, and then came down to cut day, and it was Cooper Rush, quarterback 2. Okay. Do I think they should have went into this season with Cooper Rush as their backup quarterback? No. Do I still think they should get another quarterback? Possibly. Cam Newton sitting out there on the free agent market. You could get him for a league minimum. Who knows what you could get, what you would have to give to get Andy Dalton from the Bears? Probably not a lot. But so I went into this game with no expectations. Then the game started, and Cooper Rush was okay, right? He didn't look great, but he didn't look inept. They drove down the field to try and tie the game after the Vikings scored on the opening possession. Cooper drove them down the field, and then Greg Zuerlein missed the field goal. I'm like, here we go again. This is going to be like week one all over again. And then he drove them down the field again threw a very, very bad interception, an interception that Dak Prescott would not have thrown because, like they said on the broadcast, he would have seen the two high safeties and checked out of it. That would have been a very beautiful run for, I forget if Pollard or Zeke was in the backfield. I think it was Zeke because there was no room for the running game all night. But in that particular play, there would have been room for the running game. But he threw it down the middle. He forced it to Jarwin. It hit both safeties' hands. Yes, both safeties' hands. And then the ex-Cowboy Xavier Woods comes away with the interception. And then drove him down the field, hit the field goal. And going into the half at 10-3, I was okay. I was like, you know what? It doesn't look like the Vikings are going to be able to hang 30 on the Cowboys tonight. And we're only down a touchdown, getting the ball back to start the second half. I was completely fine at 10-3 at half. Defense was balling out. Everybody really but Trevon Diggs, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm going to focus on the offense first, and then we'll talk about defense and maybe even touch a little bit on special teams because, special teams let us down a little bit again on Sunday night. So 10-3 half, I'm okay. I'm happy. And then, bang, Cowboys get the ball back. Start the second half. What happens? My guy, Cedrick Wilson. I don't know if anybody else has stepped up in a position like Cedrick Wilson. Maybe Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele stepped in, obviously, for Lyle Collins getting suspended and has played unbelievably. Maybe I shouldn't use the word unbelievably. Played very well, admirably. They always have to help him, but he hasn't gotten them killed. He hasn't Chaz Greened the Dallas Cowboys yet. If you're a Cowboys fan, you know that reference. So, but Cedrick Wilson has been unbelievable filling in for Michael Gallup. And I think to the point where it's going to be a question next season. They try and sign Cedrick Wilson back, let Gallup go. Do they sign Gallup, let Amari Cooper go? There's going to be a lot of working parts heading into the next season, but we need to focus on the here and now. Focus on this actual real life Super Bowl contender that the Dallas Cowboys have this season. So, bang, 73-yard touchdown to Cedrick Wilson, and we are 10-10. Dallas Cowboys are fully in this game. And the defense. The defense of this Dallas Cowboys team just time and time and time again after the first drive when Kirk Cousins went right down the field, touchdown to Adam Thielen, which is what Kirk Cousins is known for, right? Starting out a game looking pretty good, and then he just disappears, which is what happened Sunday night because that Dallas Cowboys defense was all around Kirk Cousins and not letting Jefferson and Thielen beat them. And I loved how Dan Quinn in this defense adjusted, right? In the beginning of the game, you saw they were attacking. They were going to attack with a 5-man front. And then the way that the Vikings offense was keeping in, chipping, they adjusted and only played a 4-man front and then played a kind of a shell. And it worked because they were still being able to get pressure. And even though they weren't getting sacks, they only got one. And of course, it was Randy Gregory. They were getting pressure. And pressures don't really come up in the stat sheet, but they come up in the stat sheet when Thielen and Jefferson aren't getting the passes that they're used to getting from Kirk Cousins because he's off his game. He's throwing off his back foot all night. I don't think I barely ever saw Cousins stepping up in the pocket because he couldn't. He was 23 of 35 for 184 yards and 1 touchdown. And no, they didn't pick him off, they didn't turn him over, but that's okay. They didn't need to. They had him rattled, right? The amount of 3 and outs, the amount of I think like 1 of 14, 1 of 13 on third down. It was unbelievable. These quarterbacks, Brown, Lewis, Curse, Donovan Wilson, even Hooker, playing phenomenally. Hitting. Cornerbacks laying lumber. Jordan, Lewis, Anthony Brown, just knocking these receivers down. Now, Trevon Diggs had a shaky night, right? No pick. First game of the season, no interception. He did give up the touchdown to Thielen. He looked a little bit off. He looked a little bit exposed, but I'm not worried about number 7. I'm only focusing on the good in this game, which is the rest of that defense. And that defensive line, Basham getting pressures, Gregory getting pressures, Odigizua up the middle getting pressure, Curse making every play. Donovan Wilson is a straight baller. But there's one guy I need to highlight. It's that guy I've been talking about all season. That guy that I predicted the Dallas Cowboys were going to draft a week before the draft. And thank you, Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you, New York Giants. And thank you to everybody else that passed on him. And that's the one and only Micah Parsons. Number 11, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. Actually, no. Check that. Weapon for the Dallas Cowboys. Defensive end. Linebacker. Says he could play safety. I believe him. Says he could play wide receiver. I believe him. Says he could play running back. I believe him. He could do it all. He was all over the field on Sunday night. He had 11 tackles in this game, 10 solo tackles, and 4 tackles for loss. The way Micah Parsons can read a play and instinctually know where to be, where to go, how to fill a gap, wrap up. I mean, there was one point where there was a bubble screen to the sideline, and he had the awareness and the speed to run around the screen and the other defender to tackle. I believe it was Ham, the tight end. Oh no, sorry, it was Dalvin Cook. The speed to catch a guy like Dalvin Cook, it's remarkable what Micah Parsons is doing. Only 8 games into his NFL career. And everybody forgets he had the full year off, did not play football the year leading in because of COVID. He opted out. What he's doing is unbelievable. And doing it at defensive end, doing it at linebacker, roaming the field. I absolutely love how this team is using him and how he's developing. Now, people were saying he was, wasn't as much shown on tape, right? The Patriots game and the game before. And some people were thinking maybe he was hitting that rookie wall, even though it was only 6-7 games into the season. I don't know. I don't believe in that. He's such a freak athlete, but maybe he needed that bye week, right? To rejuvenate himself and get shot out of a cannon. But Mike McCarthy in his press conference said this week leading into the Vikings game, it was the best week of practice Micah Parsons has had all season long. His preparation was unbelievable. He was locked in, loaded. And I believe this is the hungry lion that the Dallas Cowboys are going to get here on out and every single week, hopefully leading into the Super Bowl from Micah Parsons. It is a pleasure to watch Micah Parsons play football as part of this Dallas Cowboys defense. Now back to the offense. That last drive. The Cowboys lose this game 100 times out of 100 times heading back to 1997. From 1997 to 2020, in this exact game, especially with the backup quarterback, especially in the Jason Garrett era, the Dallas Cowboys lose this game 100 times out of 100. I guess that's kind of why I didn't have many expectations leading in. I did think they could run it. Check my Twitter, Kmess22. You'll see what I tweeted that I did believe they could win this game if they did the right things. Control the clock, which they did the time of possession. Run the ball. They kind of had some trouble there. I said, Zeke, do what you need to do to earn that money, to put the team on your back. He did not do it much in this game, but he did it when it was needed most. And this is that last drive. Cowboys are down 13-16. And you're saying to yourself, right, how nice would it be if Greg Zuerlein would have made that field goal earlier and we're only, down. Oh no, they would have been tied 16-16. All they would have needed was the field goal to win it. But they weren't, right? Down 16-13. Plenty of time. Shot play to Amari Cooper. Off Breeland's chest. Bobbling. Catch. Nope. Catch. Yes. Down. Those type of plays right there are the types of plays that happen in magical seasons. Say that again. Those type of plays are what happened to teams in magical seasons, and that's what this season seems to be. Amari Cooper makes that catch. Circus catch on the sideline. And right there, you're like, this could be happening. This could be happening. They're moving the ball. They're moving the ball. And then it's third down. 3rd and 16. Now, in my mind, okay, overtime, right? We're playing for overtime. They're gonna give maybe throw the ball, probably run it with Zeke up the middle, burn some clock, kick the field goal, hopefully play for overtime. But no, Mike Zimmer. Thank you, Mike Zimmer. 2 timeouts in a row. 2 timeouts in a row. This ain't college, bro. This is the NFL. You can't do that. They granted it to him, which means they have to enforce the penalty 5 yards. So the Cowboys go from 3rd and 16 to 3rd and 11. Okay. Still not easy. Backup quarterback again. But that was the play of the year from Zeke. The way he got through those defenders and fought to get that first down and get down to the 4-yard line right then and there. Cowboys are winning this game. They're going to find a way to win this game. And what do? Amari Cooper is on the sideline. Made that circus catch. His hamstrings bother him. Dude's been playing through injuries all season. He has a softball like this big rolling out that hamstring on the sideline. And all Cowboys fans are thinking, here we go again. Game on the line. Need a touchdown here. Amari Cooper's on the sideline hurt. Remember? Eagles game. Wasn't on the sideline for that last play when they had a chance to win it. But no, because this is a different Amari Cooper. This is the best Amari Cooper the Dallas Cowboys have seen since he's been here. And that says a lot because the first year he was in Dallas, he single-handedly brought them to the playoffs and turned around that team. But I believe everything he's been playing through and mentoring CeeDee Lamb, this is the best Amari Cooper we've ever seen. Cooper jogs back out on the field and says, this ain't happening again. I don't want to hear these critics. I don't want to hear this fan base talking about I wasn't on the field when we needed most. God forbid they lost, even if they won. Call is double left. Play's going to Amari Cooper. And CeeDee Lamb, being that young bull. He's like, it's double right? Coop says no. Cooper rush. Says no, it's double left. Lamb goes to Amari. You want to give this one to me, old man? Amari Cooper goes, hell no. You run that inside route, young buck. And what does Amari do? Bang. Didn't beat him off the line well because that hamstring's hurt, but he just went up and got it. Both feet down, touchdown, Dallas Cowboys win. But there's still like 55 seconds here, right? We've seen this show before, Cowboys fans. But we've seen it against the likes of Aaron Rodgers, not Kirk Cousins. But then Trevon Diggs goes down. Boss man fat. Here we go. Rookie corner. First game playing in the NFL, week 8, because he's been hurt. He's out there. Oh, it was Jefferson's out there. Thielen's out there. That's all we need is a bomb touchdown or a bomb with a personal foul, pass interference. That's, how many personal fouls did the Cowboys see on that? The last drive the Vikings went down to hit the field goal, right? Bash them with the roughing the passer. Really? And then 94. My guy, Randy Gregory, hit him on the sideline, but they said his progress was stopped. Personal foul. And then again, when he's pulling the guy off the pile, personal foul. I'm not going to say the refs tried to screw the Cowboys because I'm not like that, but they overcame. So that's all I was picturing in my head. 55 seconds left. Here we go. They're going to try, but no. They did it. And the Cowboys move to 6-1. And this Vikings fan base, right? It's raucous crowd. They got fuck out of here. Every time Amari Cooper caught the ball, it was Coop. It sounded like an AT&T in Arlington, Dallas Cowboys home game. When Zeke got that first down at the end, down to the 4-yard line to set up the game-winning touchdown, the roar from the crowd. You can't tell me this game wasn't in Dallas. But it wasn't. It was in Minnesota. But Cowboys fans showed up. Cowboys team showed up. Cowboys coaches showed up. Shout out to Kellen Moore, right? He didn't go into a shell and say, we're going to run the ball 100 times today because I don't want Cooper Rush to throw the ball. Cooper Rush threw the ball 40 times. Let the dude throw the ball. The weapons he has around him, I loved the game plan that Kellen Moore had, right? Cooper was 24 of 40, 325 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had that bad pick, and he did get sacked three times and have that fumble on the sack, but he got rocked. Tony Pollard missed that assignment. Zeke would not miss that assignment, but still a young player. I'm so thankful that Kellen Moore put the game plan together the way he did. And that Cedrick Wilson pass, again, was a dime. And I'm tweeting Cedrick Wilson QB1. I'm sorry, Cooper. I apologize to you, my man. You did it. You did it. Now, I have one last thing I need to talk about. Well, 2. 1. If you listen to this show, Birds vs. Boys, BVP, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, iTunes, Spotify, we're everywhere. If you watch, if you listen, I've been saying for a couple weeks, when Lyle Collins comes back, I want 7 offensive linemen on the field. Now, I thought Lyle Collins would be immediately right back at right tackle, and then Steele and McGovern would be in the backfield. But no, that's another story. But Steele got the start, right? So it's Steele, Martin, Biotish, Connor Williams, Tyron Smith. And then we're in the pistol in the backfield. Bang, McGovern. Bang, Lyle Collins. So we have 7 offensive linemen on the field. The Hulk package. I actually tweeted this at the Hit Sticks guys, Kyle Yeomans, Barry Church, Isaiah Steinbach. They answered the question last week, DallasCowboys.com. For me, I actually won a Madden 2020 for my Xbox. No big deal. But then what happens? Game happens. Boom. There it is. I love it, Kellen Moore. I need more of it. But with Lyle Collins back on the line. Okay. Terrence Steele's been playing great, right? Yeah. Okay. But Tyron Smith goes out. We don't know how long he's going to be out, right? It was an ankle. He looked fuming on the sideline. But they put Ty and Sicky in. Ty and Sicky sucks, okay? Ty and Sicky stinks. Ty and Sicky's not a good football player. You can't tell me both backup tackles, because that's what Terrence Steele is. He's a backup tackle. And Ty and Sicky are better than Lyle Collins. You can't. It's a lie. You're lying to me. You're lying to yourself. And I see guys like Brian Broaddus been like, the organization, the team they're really mad at Lyle Collins. They're mad at him. You're mad at you. Are we children here? Put the best fucking player on the field. Okay. Put Lyle Collins on the field. Put him at left tackle. Okay. If Tyron Smith cannot play, I swear, if we go into the Broncos game, and thank you, Von Miller's not going to be there. I wish the Cowboys would have given up a second and a third for Von Miller and only had to pay $700,000 and have Von Miller and Randy Gregory and then Tank Lawrence come back and bash him. And that would have been fun. But anyway, at least the Cowboys don't have to face him. But if the Cowboys go into next week with Tyan Sicky starting at left tackle and Terrence Steele at right tackle and Lyle Collins is still on the bench, shoot me. We have some issues to talk about. Steven, Jerry, Mike, Kellen, Philbin. We'll have something to talk about, okay? Because Tyan Sicky is not a starting left tackle in this league. Lyle Collins played tackle on the left side in college. Everybody says of what a pro he is, he can figure out how to play left tackle again, okay? Lyle Collins literally figuring out how to play a position is better than Tyan Sicky knowing how to play that position. Figure it out. Make up. Kiss and make up. Make up sex. Whatever you got to do. Make it happen. All right. I promised that this would only be like 15 minutes. Of course, it's like 27 minutes because, well, you know what? The Cowboys are 6-1. The Cowboys had a thrilling Sunday night victory against Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Now they go back home to take on the Broncos. I will talk about that game and much more in this upcoming week's episode with Aiden. Birds vs. Boys comes out on Thursday. I'm not sure if we have a guest or not this weekend, but make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple, Twitter, Instagram. Great TikToks. We're huge on TikTok. So check it all out. Tell your friends, tell your family. We are a podcast for everyone, all NFL fans, with the flair of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. But huge, huge win, right? Most of the Cowboys nation went into this game kind of giving up an L here, right? Going 5-2. We're still going to, no, 6-1. Keep the train on the tracks and keep rolling all the way to LA. Not saying anything about the Super Bowl yet, even though I just did. Want to know this week. It's time to focus on the Broncos. Enjoy the good win. Try and fix some of the bad. We're 6-1, Cowboys Nation. Enjoy every second of this. Tweeted this as well a couple weeks ago, and this is what I'm going to leave you. We need to enjoy every single second. Every single second of this team because this team is special. I will give you my thoughts on if I think Dak Prescott's going to play or Cooper Rush will start this week. But thank you, Cooper Rush. Thank you, Mr. Rush. Thank you, Mrs. Rush. Thank you, Cooper's wife. It was a pleasure watching you guys in Minnesota. We were all you last night. Freaking out. But he did it. You proved everyone wrong, Cooper Rush. Congratulations to you. Thank you. And let's move on to Denver. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Birds vs. Boys, full episode will drop this Thursday. Looking forward to week 9. I can't believe it's already week 9 in the NFL season.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds vs. Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upside alert. Upside alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach.
That is? Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.